Game On Magazine is busy sitting with Adri Visser, a Paralympic swimmer. How are you today, Adri?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good. You've just come back from a training session. How was it?
It was really good. We just did a 3.5 kilometer swim. Had something nice to eat, and now I'm chatting with you guys, so it's going good.
It's pretty hectic training, but let's get right into it. Audrey, you're a pretty accomplished swimmer. You've been swimming for quite a while now. But for the purpose of our interview, could you just explain to us how you got involved in swimming?
Okay. I went to a primary school for disabled in Westcliff, Johannesburg, and I always felt like I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be active, and then there was this lady in school who just came and asked us if someone would be interested in swimming. Her name is Dea Slattery, and she's the Paralympic convener for South Africa. And she gave me a classification the one Saturday, and she started training me, giving me stroke and technique stuff to work on, and then it just built from there.
Tell us, Audrey, what made you realize that you wanted to actually do this as a full-time sport and one day represent your country at the Paralympics?
I have to say I've always loved the water. The irony of it is I almost drowned 2 times when I was a youngster. So my sister had to train me to do water safety and those things, so that if I would land up in the water, I would be okay. And then when my stroke progressed and my swimming improved, I really loved the feeling of being free in the water and not being restricted with my disability in the water, and just actually having fun. And I think with things like that, you just embrace it, and then you realize you can be so much more than that. And then the Paralympic dream came true when I went to Beijing. And at the moment, I'm waiting to hear if I'll go to the Rio Paralympics this year.
We're going to touch on your Paralympic journey in a short while.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, obviously you've just mentioned your disability, and being a Paralympic athlete means you are carrying some sort of disability. Could you explain to our viewers what exactly your disability is?
Okay, my mom contracted German measles during pregnancy, but the funny, or actually amazing part of it is that she didn't become sick at all. She only gave me the symptoms of the sickness, and that caused me to be born disabled, with a clubfoot on my left side, only a half of my leg on the other side below the knee, and then 2 little arms. Yeah. So,
we've been chatting for while we've been setting this up. We've been we've been talking over WhatsApp and email and stuff. And I would like to know, because I myself am disabled. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic. I broke my neck playing rugby when I was in matric. And I type with my tongue because I've got no use of my arms. How do you type on a phone? Are you able to use your hands to type?
Yeah, I think when you're born disabled, you learn how to cope without it, so you don't feel like you're really missing anything. But as I showed you just now, I just lift up my phone, hold it, and then I type it. Easy peasy.
That is incredible. Thank you for showing us. That's really special. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Audrey, okay, so let's get back to it. You've been swimming for a while now. Who would you say who has been your support base throughout your years of swimming?
As you've realized, my mom is really one of the founding people of encouragement in my life, and I think she's my hero because when I was young, she taught me to be independent. Like, for instance, when I wanted to eat, she gave me the spoon and said, eat, and then she left the room. And if she didn't do that, I wouldn't be who I am today. So when I started swimming, she told me she's not going to pressure me. If I want to train, I'll train. If I don't want to, it's whatever, it's my thing. But if I want to commit to this, I really need to commit to it. And she's been there every step of the way.
Oh, that's great. And Game On Magazine thanks your mom on our behalf for all the encouragement she's given you. Audrey, in terms of your heroes, every young athlete has heroes that while you are developing as an athlete, who would you say your athletes are, your heroes are, whether they are disabled or not, or swimmers or not? Who would you say? Who have you looked up? Who have you got inspiration from?
If I have to look at swimming first, it would be Natalie Dutoy. She was the mother of our team when we went to Beijing, and she always inspired me to go for my goals despite of what happens to you. I mean, she's a rock solid role model to everyone around us. I mean, she had the dream to go to the Olympics. Her accident happened, and still she pushed through and went to the Olympics. And I mean, gold medals, world records that still stand today. And she's always so humble with everything that she does. And then someone else, I'm very religious, and my Christianity is very important to me. So I know that everything that I have accomplished is through God and Jesus Christ, and He's my role model of living life to the fullest and going towards God's will in your life and living out your purpose. And that's what I try and do with my motivation speaking and swimming as such.
Yeah, that's a very special story indeed. We will get back to your motivational speaking now. Let's talk a little bit about your training. I mean, you are an elite Paralympic athlete. You've gone to the Paralympics before. You've represented South Africa across all levels, both in South Africa and abroad. What is your training program like?
Well, it's really hectic right now. As I believe I'll go to Rio, we upped my training schedule. So I'm swimming twice a day, and next week it would be 4 double sessions a week. So it's Monday twice, Tuesday twice, Wednesday twice, and then Friday twice, 6 days a week as I said. And then my kilometers in total would be around, say, 7 kilometers. This week, I just swam a 3.5 kilometers distance. So I'm really focusing on all the strokes, considering that IM is one of the races that I need to compete in Rio. But most importantly, it's all about strength, work, and power. As the 50 fly is my main event, and I'm hoping to be top 3. As we saw my ranking, you're only 2.5 seconds away from being top 3 in the world. So I have to check my diet and my training to really make that 2.5 seconds faster and possible.
I'm pretty sure that you'll get there. Let's talk about your eating plan. If you just said your diet is very critical for your training, what do you do what do you eat in order to be an elite Paralympic swimmer?
Well, at the moment, I pretty eat whatever I want, but I kind of decided to eat more healthy. I think sometimes you train so hard you can eat anything and you don't gain weight, But say for instance, before a competition, I eat a lot of carbs and make sure that I eat protein and less fat. Right now, I don't eat too much bread. I love coffee, so I'm not gonna ever think of not drinking coffee again. But just eating more vegetables and stuff like that. It's hard because you're a student, but that's what I really want to get going now.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now you are a student and you're busy at the University of the Northwest University. So,
Yes.
How do you balance your time between training, studying, and having a bit of a social life?
I don't think it's a bit of a social life because I always used to say that I'm a social butterfly. I really like being around my friends. I think they support me in everything that I do. So getting away and spending time with my friends is of utmost importance to me. But the university is so flexible towards my Rio goals and my swimming that they actually accepted my honors application in biokinetics, and combining recreation with it because of my disability. And now I'm doing it over 2 years instead of 1 year, that I'll be able to still continue swimming.
That's fantastic. Audrey, it's a critical thing that the university supports you, but
Yeah.
and it's good that South Africa as a whole supports you. But when you've been overseas representing South Africa, what do you, where do you think we stand in terms of other countries that compete in Paralympic sports? How are we as a country in terms, if you compare us to the rest of the world?
I think it's bad to have to compare to other countries because they weren't affected as much in the apartheid era than what we were. With not having to be able to participate, the whole thing. But I think we are behind. But there's a lot of dedicated people in South Africa that want to make a difference. So it's going to take some time, but I think when you have support of people around you, you can make it possible. But we do not have the facilities nor the funding
Yeah.
to make this possible right now. But I have to say that if you tend to look on the negative things in life, you will only see that. But if you focus on the positivity and embracing your sport for what it is right now and using it to the fullest of its capabilities, you'll go far despite of it. And I always say that your circumstances might not be ideal, but make the best of it. And I mean, I'm going to be another Paralympian. You can never take that away from me,
Yes.
and that's great. So, despite of the country that I come from, which I'm very proud of to be in South African, I think it's a privilege to represent South Africa, and I'll always love South Africa despite of say difficulty in funding and so forth. But it's possible, and SASCOP does support their team when they need to, and I think they'll continue doing that. We just need some more structures and more people coming to support this goal for us.
Yeah, Audrey, I think you're the perfect example of somebody who never gives up. Audrey, in terms of, are you on any, I know SASCOC has the OPEX program. Are you a part of that?
I was on the OPEX program before I went to Beijing in 2008, but I haven't been on it since then. I think with London, having qualified and not gone, it was a setback. But I think I improved so much in my swimming that they actually realized that they made a mistake, and this time will be different. So I think they'll realize my potential. And I have wonderful sponsors that have really helped me. The name, the club's name is Diterka, and they sponsor people with disabilities to accomplish their goals. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So yes.
No, it's incredible to hear all the support you have, Audrey. In terms of, let's talk about that because you went to Beijing 2008 and then you missed the Olympics.
Yeah.
You just said that you qualified for the London Olympics, but you didn't go. Why?
Yeah.
Were you just not selected?
The criteria for selecting teams is sometimes things we don't understand. And I always believe that everything happens for a reason. I don't know why they decided not to take me, but I believe it made me a stronger swimmer today and a stronger person in life.
Yeah, for sure.
I think sometimes you get so focused on swimming is this, swimming, and you lose your identity in it. So I've really grown into who I am and what I want to accomplish in my life. So yes, it was sad, and it took me more than a month to get back to the pool after such a huge disappointment. But after 4 years, I'm sitting here being sixth in the world, and this time it's going to be different. And I'm not going to say London was really terrible, no, because I know this is for a reason, and I'm going to live it out now, and that's what's really important.
Yeah, we'll chat about your Paralympics now. I just want to, you've gone all over the world. I mean, you've swam in different countries. What for you is your most cherished memory, considering that after this year you will be retiring?
Yes, I think most people don't believe I will be retiring, but your time is now when. Okay, but anyway, if I really have to think, I think it would probably be going to America. 2 years ago, last year. 2 years ago, yeah, last year. That's when I really did well, and I was the only lady that competed, and we had to collect the funding myself to be able to participate, and that was over 50,000 rand, where the Turka really came, and friends and their mothers and everyone just supported me, and I raised the funds, and I said to myself, this is really a good competition, and so many people worked so hard for me to be, and I'm going to show my best times. And that's where I broke my Africa records, and I received a silver and bronze. I mean, representing and actually winning medals is very precious, but I think more just embracing the opportunity to swim at such an event, it was really awesome. And not to forget the Beijing experience, but winning medals was wow. But after, London and those difficulties, being back on top form, and actually after that being nominated for the SA Sports Awards because of it, that's really special.
But you're also a motivational speaker, and you've done a lot of motivational talks. Talk us through that. Why do you do them? Whatever motivates you to do your motivational talks?
I think in this world that we live in right now, there's people filled with a lot of hatred, a lot of sadness, and people with bad circumstances. And it's very sad for me to see that there's people out there that don't live their lives to the fullest of their capability. That negativity affects them in such a way that they feel sorry for themselves, or they lack the potential to actually succeed because they have self-doubt. I know in my life that I wouldn't be Adri today if I was like that. You get your down times and your sad times, but I believe that everyone has a purpose in life, and you just need to embrace it. And I use my Christianity and my religion with my swimming achievements, my academics, to tell people that, I've accomplished so much in my life because I believe in God, and I believe that He has a plan for everyone. And by doing my motivational speaking, I'd like to inspire people to go and search for what their purpose in life is, and living it to the fullest, and never ever backing down on any situation or any dream that they might have by just being me.
That's wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Adri. To get back to your Paralympics, you've just qualified now again you've qualified again for the next Paralympics that will be in Rio de Janeiro.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, the qualification is now out the way, and you've obviously set yourself goals if you do manage to go. What would your goals be? What do you want to do at the Rio Olympics, considering it is your last major tournament before you retire?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, this is my last one. And I want to go out with a bang. I don't want to be one of those who should have retired years ago but never did. So I'm currently 6th in the world in my 50 fly, and I only need 2.5 seconds about to be top 3. If you know me, you'll know that I always used to say that it doesn't go about being first, second, or third, but just enjoying it and making finals is what I always said. I know that I'll make finals this time, but I want to really push it to my personal best time, and God willing, maybe I could be top 3 in the world.
I'm pretty sure that you will definitely be top 3, and you'll definitely return to South Africa with a medal. Archie, we want to know. I mean, you've an accomplished swimmer, and everything is on the internet. So anybody, I mean, we've put your 2015 and 2014 achievements in the article as a sidebar. But we want to know about Audrey outside of swimming. What do you do for fun?
Hey, I'm a serious girl, so everything that's girly and full of drama, I love watching. I always used to think that Game of Thrones was bad, but you learn to love it. So I really like that. And say, for instance, Grey's Anatomy and The Vampire Diaries, Blind Spot, The Blacklist, all those series I really love watching. But more, I think, spending time with my friends. I mean, socializing, speaking, having fun, going to the movies. I mean, doing geocaching with friends in Namibia. It was so cool. We went there last year, September, and my friends are so amazing. They helped me like through very difficult obstacles. There was this one geocache where we needed to climb down the riverbank, and they actually helped me to come down. And on Swakopmund, you get to see on the one side and the dunes on the other side. And I actually walked on dunes, and I did everything that I really wanted to, and I actually helped them find some. So I like adventure, I like being outdoors, and I really love dancing. You know, in Afrikaans they call it soki soki, and I'm really good at it, so I like it, and it makes me feel free and alive.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's brought a smile to my face. Audrey,
Mm-hmm.
in closing, what do you have a special message not only for disabled athletes but the disabled as a whole? Because you know, us both being disabled, a lot of disabled people are very negative about their disabilities. Not a lot of them have the ability to own their disabilities. So, what would you say to
Yeah.
either disabled athletes or the disabled community as a whole?
Okay, I'll tell them that it's okay to feel down sometimes. It's okay to fall. It's okay to know that your life isn't really always, in your control. But it's okay. Embrace your circumstances. Live it to the full. If you need help, ask someone. It's really okay. I think there is so much loved ones around you that care for you. Don't push them away. Um, Tell them that you care, and tell them that really you really like being a part of their lives, and thank them for being a part of your life. I think strive to really be happy despite of your circumstances or where you come from. I know people tend to see us as being mentally disabled when they see you physically disabled, and they don't really know how to speak to you. But don't be shy. Don't be afraid to show them who you are. Talk to them and tell them what's your disability. Explain it to them, and they will, like, I think, come to your level and truly connect with you, and you embrace that, and don't ever back down, and don't feel sorry about who you are.
I think that's
God created you in His image, so yeah.
I think that's some pretty sound advice, and I think what the disabled community needs to understand that the only way that ignorance will go away is if we stand up and make a voice, because people won't talk on our behalf because they don't understand
Yeah.
who we are as the disabled community. So some pretty sound advice. Audrey, on behalf of Game On Magazine, we would like you to thank you for taking the time to chat to us. It's been an incredible privilege to talk to you and to see how you live your life and how you train and how you swim and how you study. So thank you so much. We will definitely be rooting for you at the Rio Paralympic Games, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for the opportunity as well, and may God truly bless you guys for making this possible and for uplifting disabled people around South Africa and the world. So go on and live your lives, and thank you for your passion as well and your hard dedication.
Thank you, Audrey. Keep well.
I will. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.